Cool. And I will open this up on Facebook. So literally all I have to do is press live on Facebook, direct us right there. And hold on. Okay, we are being live streamed. Woo! I'm over here with my friend Pat, the one, the only, the legend. And Pat is the king of breathwork. And I know it's something difficult to say, but to be honest, I have been doing breathwork for a little bit, and I don't know if you guys have heard about breathwork, but breathwork is a way to get high on your own supply. And for so long, I had heard about it and I was like, oh, okay, I'll dabble in it. I remember the first time I ever dabbled in it was Australia. I had this moment to where I went out into heaven and there were angels. I was flying around. I was sky freaking high. And I was looking for anywhere to be able to get that experience again. And the first time I ever experienced it again was with Pat. So, Pat, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Bo, for having me on here. So my name is Patrick. My breathwork or coaching name is Breathe to the Beat. And I am originally from New England, but been living here in beautiful St. Pete for almost a year, coming up on. So I was one of many people in the recent times, COVIDian times, to move to Florida, into St. Pete. And my background, I actually haven't really been an instructor before prior to finding breathwork. My background is really, I worked in travel actually before COVID. And I think what really put me on kind of this more of the spiritual path was just life, to be honest. I had like a lot of kind of life challenges between like jobs not working out, relationships, and really was just trying to find myself. And I think that's all a lot of us are really trying to do, right? Is finding our purpose, finding our path. And my journey led me to Peru, where I worked with plant medicine and ayahuasca and San Pedro. And that really just opened my eyes up to a different way of living and a different perspective. And that's what actually would then lead me to breathwork, which is a whole story in itself as well. But yeah, so a quick introduction basically is I'm Breathe to the Beat, Pat, and I live here in St. Pete.
Okay, so for people who have never heard of breathwork or have heard of it and they're like, what the heck is going on? What are the benefits to breathwork and why do you use it?
So we all breathe, right? So breath is life. And so, but unfortunately, most of us are not conscious with our breathing. We're not taught this at school. We're not taught this as adults. We're not taught this by our parents. And so most of us actually breathe incorrectly. And breathing, your breath work or how you breathe is directly connected to your autonomic nervous system. So basically, erratic breathing leads to erratic thoughts, which leads to erratic actions, which leads to erratic life, right? Crazy life. So really, by becoming more conscious of how you breathe and learning on how it's connected to your nervous system and how it's connected to your body, you're basically, it's kind of like a life hack in many ways. You're basically can figure out, all right, if I need energy, like instead of getting that coffee, let me do a breath of fire and inhale and exhale, quickly to activate the sympathetic nervous system, gives you a burst of energy. Or let's say you can't sleep, right? What do most people do? Well, a lot of people do, I would say, in our modern age, they go to those pharmaceutical sleeping pills, right? And then they get dependent on that. Well, instead, you can just focus on exhaling more than you inhale, and you can Yeah, as you're demonstrating. And you can actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system and relax. So there's just so many different applications. You can release trauma, repressed emotions through a specific pattern of breathing. We tend to, like, nasal breathing is really important because of nitric oxide, which has so many health benefits. And so it's really like breath work has been around for thousands of years, but it's just now, like, we kind of forgot about it. I don't know why. Like, it's just like mankind was just like, oh, like, I breathe automatically, so I'm not going to be conscious about it. But luckily, it's becoming with people like Wim Hof and different people, like, they're making it more mainstream, and people are learning about it.
Absolutely. So if, I was somebody just looking to get into breath work, what would be the first couple steps for me to take when I'm like, not sure, I don't really know how it's going to help me? What would be the first couple steps, like a little beginner taste?
Yeah. So I think the biggest barrier to anything when you haven't done it is just like the fear of the unknown, right? That's just the general. I think that's some of our biggest fears as humans. So what I would say is, if you have the courage to go to a live class, that's the best, right? So especially in the St. Pete area, we have so many amazing yoga studios like the Collective, and other instructors who teach live classes, right? Amazing instructors in this community, and it's something that's growing a lot. So I'd say go to a live class. But if you're like, I don't feel so comfortable about that, like,
Yeah. Or if
I
you
don't know.
area,
What? Yeah, or you don't live in that area. Yeah, then you can try it online. There's so many different modalities out there that you can try. I'm personally certified in Soma Breath. I have a master class actually on my website that you can try out, where I explain everything to you and how to do it. But I would say just try it online and try it with your own time and your own privacy. So you're not, because some people are like, let's go to a group class and breathe together. It's kind of weird, and it is if you haven't done it before. So that
absolutely. What is your website so people can check it out?
Yeah, so it's a breathe 2 with a number 2,
Yep.
and then thebeat.com.
Okay, I just put it in the comments so people could check it out.
Cool.
So, and what are you offering on your website? You said there's a master class.
Yeah, so I have a master class just explaining one of the methods that I teach, which is the awakening method, which is what you've done basically, which is the music. Which is with the music, specially designed music that works similar to binaural beats, where the frequency and rhythm of the music puts you more in a meditative, hypnotic state. And then you're breathing to the beat in the music, and then you're doing breath retention. So in Sanskrit, it's all based on pranayama, ancient techniques. That's kumbhaka. And so I guide, in that video, I explain the process, how to do it, similar to the classes that you've been to, and then I do a class, and I have fractals, which are pretty cool too. So if you want to not close your eyes and actually watch the fractals, you can get hypnotized that way as well. And then I have a free meditation. That same meditation, if you enjoy it, you can then download it for free and put it.
Is that on your website too?
Yeah, right on the homepage. Yeah,
that's exciting. And I just want to put it in here in a perspective for people, that haven't done the breath work. And from my experience, breath work is something that I connect with the most out of like yoga, meditation, everything, because, I gave up drinking alcohol. I gave up doing drugs. And for me is like a way where I can just go on another planet where I feel actually very high. But it's like not like a high where you're not clear. It's where everything is clear. Every answer to every question you ever had is like, poof, it's there. And you were able to feel this euphoria. I remember when I do like the breath work, I feel like I'm drinking like the most pure water ever, because you actually create this vapor from all this breathing. And I feel like I'm just drinking in the most nutrient filled water in the world. And every time I wake up, I go straight to my journal because something has come to me. So if you ever do the breath work, make sure you have a journal next to you. Also, another time that I used your actual breath work, I recorded it one day. And I remember I was so stressed out. My buddy was supposed to come over, but he didn't. And I was pissed off. I was completely in a low vibrational state. And I played one of your recordings, and then everything just stopped. Where I was like, I came back into alignment with my body, with my vibration, and everything was fine. So, I do use breath work every day. But if you have a chance to go into a live breath work with Pat or with any breath work facilitators, it's incredible and it will change your life. But the thing is, when you go into breath work, you have to open yourself up. You cannot close up and be like, oh, well, people are going to judge me for the way that I breathe or the sounds that are coming out of my mouth. You really just have to let loose.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the process of doing it opens you up too. So I think it's okay if it's your first time and you are closed off a bit because it's your first time, and that's okay. I mean, I think the most important thing is just go into it with no expectations and try to be as open as possible. But the more you do it, even if it's your first experience and you don't, it's uncomfortable, the more, just like anything, you do anything for the first time, you're not used to it. Your body's like, what are you doing? Right. And so it's okay. And like what you talked about with, feeling good, right? It's like you're getting high on your own supply. That's because you're creating those natural good hormones of dopamine and serotonin that you're getting from drinking and from doing drugs, but then you're doing it naturally. Right. So that's great. I'm so glad that you've been able to benefit so much from it.
Yeah, it's definitely next level. And for people who experience anxiety, me being one of them, breath work has changed my life in conjunction with, with meditation. But, it's difficult to meditate when you don't know how to breathe. Right. So meditation helps you breathe, and breath work helps you handle your anxiety no matter where you are. You don't have to just close your eyes and meditate when you're feeling anxious. Really, what you need to do is slow down and breathe. And that's what breath work helps out with.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think a lot of people have a hard time meditating. They have a hard time turning off their mind. And I think you're exactly right. With breath work, it allows you to focus on something. And so it kind of keeps your mind busy enough. And that allows you to get into the meditative state. And especially with Soma breath, where you're combining it with this crazy, powerful music, then it's a double whammy.
That's what I love about it. Just like it's like we're jamming and everybody's breathing together. It's an experience. And at the end, it's like a journey to where you get to share your story. You get to share what you were feeling. And what's great about it is nobody's judging you like, oh, well, that sounds stupid. Everybody's like, wow. So you're able to be vulnerable. You're able to be honest about your experience and only get praise from it. So it's a very safe container, safe space. So yeah, for any of those people out there who want to dabble in it and try it out, do you have anything coming up or any events?
Yeah. So this weekend is actually a big weekend. Saturday, there's the Trilogy festival at the Movement Sanctuary. I think it's the 3-year anniversary, maybe of E-Dance. And it's going to be huge. It's from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. with amazing workshops, cold water plunge. I'm at 3. Yeah, I'm teaching breath work at 4. So if you want to have go earlier in the day and have that type of experience where you're getting more involved with workshops, there's yoga class, there's Thai massage, and then there's a really amazing female DJ playing as well.
Where can people check out that information?
Yeah, so good question. On Facebook, if you search the Movement Sanctuary, I believe you should be able to find it. I will also, I think maybe I can give you the information as well, so you can post it on your Facebook, and I'll post the event as well. It's probably the best way. And then I'm also teaching on Sunday. So if you can't make it on Saturday, Sunday at the Collective at the yoga studio here in St. Pete, and I'm collaborating with a friend of mine who's a yoga instructor. And so we're going to be doing journal prompt, yoga. I just bought a projector, so I'm thinking about bringing in my projector, putting out all these fractals, and then I'm going to be teaching. I'm probably going to do some shaking, some dancing, and then breath work with the fractals. And that's at 4.
This is
4
so
o'clock.
awesome how it's turning like full circle, because the first time I met Pat was at the Movement Sanctuary, where we had like this special event. And I would honestly sign up. I was like, I don't care how much it is. It's worth it just to do the breath work. And I went there and I met Pat and I had this experience, but I had such an incredible experience that I was scared to let it all out because we were inside. There's a lot of energy. So I decided to kind of hold it back in and leave. But then the second time it was outside and it was magic. So I'm glad how this is coming full circle. And, I'm going to make it a priority to go over there to St. Pete, even though I'm in Orlando. So awesome. Yeah. And then there is a thing I'm really excited to announce from me is, this whole spiritual world has been new for me, and it started a journey. Right. So I just want for anybody who has any questions for Pat or me to write them on the comments below. And we're going to go ahead and post this, and we will come back to these questions later. So any questions you might have about like breath work or meditation or, the spiritual journey, which sometimes is like rah kind of thing. But to be honest, like my whole entire life, I looked at other people who had like this confidence about them. They had this swag, and I never felt like I was able to be that person, where people looked at me and they viewed me as differently than I viewed myself, because of the way that I look and everything. So the spiritual journey, things like this, things like breath work, meditation, going to the Movement Sanctuary to where I'm able to express myself has completely changed my life. And I'm able to be authentic and vulnerable. So this Thursday, what I'm doing is tomorrow at 5 o'clock, what I'm doing is I'm hosting a live workshop, a live webinar for anybody who wants to learn about being authentically confident. Now, this is my whiteboard over here. This is the way I think. So there's a lot of stuff on there, and it is the 4 keys to authentic confidence. So if you guys are feeling like you need some more self-love and you want to get out there and express yourself in an authentic way, come to this webinar. It's free. It's going to be fun. There's going to be integrations of breath work as well, and meditation, and everything that we need to know in order to have that self-love and to have that authentic confidence, to the point where, the other night somebody challenged me to go out in a dress, and that was tough. But you know what? I freaking did it. And I shook my stuff. I sent it, and I went, you know what? I'm going to go out there in my mom's dress, and I'm going to get the most attractive woman's number. And you know what? It freaking happened. It happened. Me in a dress. So, it's funny. Everybody says they're confident, right? I sent this text out to all of my crazy friends in college. I was like, yo, I bet you, this is called the Mom's Dress Challenge. I bet you won't go out downtown sober by yourself in a dress. To this day, nobody has done it yet. So I don't know if you're in, Pat. It takes a confident man, a heterosexual man, to wear pink. It takes a very authentically confident man to wear a dress out downtown sober by themselves.
I think we should do like a fundraiser where we like have a challenge, like men like cross-dress challenge or whatever, right? And then we can even do like, have you seen those things where people, they do this for pride, where like people have races with high heels? I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't.
You could do that with dresses and heels and raise money for it. And like each participant has to like raise a certain amount of money to participate in it. I don't know. I just thought of that idea. It'd be kind of cool. But I just want to say, Bill, I mean, I really respect your ability to speak your truth and be vulnerable with your community. It's something that just to be like how open you are with it, thank you for doing that, man, and leading the way, especially as men. We sometimes repress that side of ourselves. So I just want to say, thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I've been, as men, I feel like it's difficult to express our emotions and be vulnerable. And, the vulnerability, the same thing as a vulnerability is authenticity. It's really just being yourself. And all of us have this masculine and feminine side, and we need to be able to express that. And so we feel freaking free from all the BS of like, oh man, I can't do that. And once you're able to feel that, once you're able to literally be like, holy crap, whatever I think I can do, and I'm not worried about what other people are thinking because I'm true and love myself, man, that is a different level. And it will change your life forever. And that is what I discovered throughout this whole journey of confidence. And it's something that I look up to you in as well. When we come together, we go and we have fun. And sometimes it's difficult to completely unlock yourself, but I've been out with you, I've been dancing with you, and you fully express yourself. And it is something that, we still have that brotherhood, but we're still able to express ourselves no matter what and not judge each other for it. I love that.
Beautifully said.
Well, my friend, thank you so much for your time and for just your calmness, your chillness. You can tell that you're right now.
You should check this room out, man. It's a Harry Potter room of Rising Tide in downtown St. Pete, and literally, yeah, just chilling on a beanbag, just hanging out. So
awesome. Well, much love, brother. I will shoot over a link to the webinar for tomorrow.
Yeah, please do.
Everything else, if anybody has any questions, please let us know and we will comment on them later. So right on.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for being here.
Peace. Much love.